On today's episode, we talk about an unfortunate game delay, Persona 4 Gold on the Vita, and we bury the hatchet on an original segment of the show. All this and more on Gaming Soon.
Hello and welcome back to another Gaming Soon. Sorry we didn't have an episode of last week, but our Mexican wannabe got sick last week.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, anyways, we are your hosts again, Erico and Killatia. And let's talk about many of the games that are coming out soon.
I'm excited for today's episode.
Yes, you should be, because this is our second take. Well, let's start off with the sad news first. Rayman Legends, the Ubisoft platformer that going to be one of the best launch titles for the Wii U, got delayed into next year.
Aww.
I know. Ubisoft cited that it was to ensure that they have the best quality product on the market. Well, they probably didn't say that word for word, but that's the closest I can remember.
It's implied.
It's implied, yeah, but what I have seen throughout development, it looks really well done and it plays well.
I gotta agree with you completely.
Well, I think the real reason for it is, I'm sure they do want to create a high quality product and such, but I think the real reason is that one, they released a whole bunch of launch titles for the Wii and the 3DS. So for the Wii U, they're looking at it and be like, we're kind of making the same mistakes, guys. How about we take our best game and delay it a few months so our other ones have a chance to breathe.
Right. Not to mention, as you were saying before, if they had launched with the Wii U in that launch window, they had been competing with Mario.
Yeah, New Super Mario Bros. The Wii U. Yeah, like, granted, Rayman Legends looks to be a better game than Mario, but let's be honest here. Who do you think it's gonna sell more and move the system more?
Mario, of course.
Yeah, so still, sad that Rayman has to get delayed, but I can see the reasons why. Not to mention that the other games that Ubisoft are releasing, like Zombie U, is looking like to be a great game to get a launch as well.
Right.
Like, and the launch trailer we have for the Rayman Legends does show what the game can do with the gamepad and the Wii U system itself.
Right.
Yeah. I just find it funny how at the end it'd be like coming out at launch. I was like, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah. So that's our sad news. Let's move on to some good news for all 5 of your PSVita owners.
You stole my joke.
Yes, I did. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing, that's right. Anyways, Persona 4 Golden coming out this November for the PS Vita. The trailer we have specifically points out the enhancements and what new and such for this edition of Persona 4. And I gotta say, the one thing that the PSP and the PS Vita so far has going for it, it's a nice variety of JRPGs coming out for the system.
Right.
Like, in our last take, I was talking about how the PSP had like, pretty anniversary version of Final Fantasy, Ys Special Edition, as well as the Growland series, and how the PS Vita is now having a unique RPG, Soul Reader, which we talked. Oh wait, Soul Sacrifice. My apologies. The game we were talking about in the Tokyo Game Show episode, as well as now Persona 4.
Right.
And what I've seen of the trailer for Persona 4, I do like, and definitely a game you should pick up if you have a PS Vita.
Definitely. I would if I had one.
Yeah, like if I was Atlas, I would also release it for the original version of Persona 4 on the PSN, because that's a game I would love to play as well.
The only problem I have with it is that it seems like there's a lot of wasted potential by putting it on Vita.
Well, you can say it about any new console that's not even a year old. So.
Yeah, I suppose. Even so.
But still, if they released the enhanced version and then the original on the PSN, like they did with Persona 3 for the PSP and then later on the original for PSN.
Right.
I mean, I could totally go ahead and do that for Persona 4.
Right.
Now we're done with Persona 4, let's talk about a new character that was announced for Injustice, God Among Us.
Right. We had already talked about this in the Tokyo Game Show episode, but we kind of figured he's excited for it.
Yeah, the new character they announced today, well at least I found out today, was announced yesterday from him, is the new character Green Arrow.
Right.
Which is basically Batman but without the Batman gimmick.
Right. More
Robin Hood-ish.
Yeah. That's kind of the point.
Yeah. But the trailer they do show up for him is pretty awesome, I have to say.
He looks like one of the more interesting characters, sadly.
Yeah, like, lot of versatile moves. Even have a few moves inspired by the Mortal Kombat character Sub-Zero, where he's using one of his arrows to freeze them.
Right.
Yeah, so, yeah, this is looking like a character that, you know, I would play if I do plan on getting Injustice.
I don't think I'm going to be rushing out the store today, but maybe after the match.
We were talking about this earlier too, like you saying that the box art for the game also has a few other characters on there that now announced as well.
I think the general consensus is that the Joker and Green Lantern were supposed to be released, not released, but revealed at the time of the taping here, because they're on the box art, so I guess it would be implied that at some point they would have been revealed.
Yeah, but it would make sense that these two characters would be released because Green Lantern plays a huge role in the overall DC universe, and the Joker, well, let's be honest here, you can't really have much of a Batman character without the Joker.
Right.
So like if they do get released or announced for inclusion to the game, we'll definitely be talking about them in an upcoming game soon. Right. On this last game I want to talk about what actually sent to me directly. I have the name on hand on my cell phone because last time I tried to remember I completely forgot.
Then we had to do a whole other thing.
Yeah. Arcane Legends, it's from the same people who produced the popular mobile game MMO, Pocket Legends and Stalins, I believe. I'll have to double check on that, but this developer is very popular for for creating MMOs for the mobile devices like iOS, Android, as well as these games being compatible with the browsers.
Soon to be on Steam.
Yeah, sure. Let go of that excuse. Like, I didn't see any indication of that in the trailer. And speaking of which, we didn't see much of gameplay for the inside the trailer. More like a teaser, like what they were hoping to do with the game and such.
Right.
With the monk, the warrior, and what was the last class? The rogue.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's a very funny.
Generic.
It's a generic teaser, but it's cute, I would say.
I guess.
Like, you know, we'll keep our eyes out for it. I'm not sure if the game I would play, but we will keep our eyes out on it.
Right.
Oh, and sorry about the chainsaw in the background. And there's not much we can do about our next door neighbors.
Yeah, they're getting trees removed, I think.
Yeah. They're taking a week for some reason.
So, I guess we're not doing a green light watch hour today.
Yeah, I would think about this since you got sick and such, you know. So I think about for this week's episode, I was just like, there's not really much happening going on in the green light section these days. Like, whenever I first launched, everybody was like getting pumped out for it, but like, it just died down.
I think, and I mentioned this to him earlier, I think a lot of the reason why the hype died down is because Steam has been really slow to release the games. I think they announced like 10 or 20 of the first games,
like
and they've only released one?
So far? And in a game I didn't even see in the green light section.
I did, but it's even so. I mean, I can understand why another reason was also the fact that you can't track the progress of the games in question now.
Yeah, because like the reason I wanted to do like the green light section was like for that progress, you know, seeing if I'm sure it had a little bit of effect. I mean, granted we don't have that much views to have a huge impact, but I want to at least see if there was like a tiny bit of impact.
Right.
You know?
Just show some support, show some love to that community of people trying to get their work out there.
Yeah, but with Valve like getting rid of that progress bar, like, and I'm thinking to myself like, how can we be sure that they are doing good if we're not even showing that progress bar, you know?
It's like you don't know that they did good with the votes until it gets picked to get released.
Exactly, like it's...
Which doesn't seem to mean anything because they're not releasing anything, so that kind of like, it comes back to itself, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so we could discuss about this all day, but but let's just cut to the chase. For now, we're not doing any more green light watchtowers for the time being. If there's a demand for it again, like we will bring it back.
Right.
But for now, no more for the time being.
Yeah, just for now. We'll see.
So,
we'll see how things go.
Yeah, so that's it for Gaming Soon this week. Considerably shorter, considering we just canceled the green light section, but I think we did good in this episode.
Rest in peace, 2 episodes of Green Light Watchtower.
Yeah. At least we gave you a bigger, better shot than Fox ever will.
We hardly knew thee.
Well, anyways, catch you gamers later. We're gonna go bury green light in the backyard.
Yeah.
Adios, fellow gamers.
Take it easy.